हेलो एवरीबडी, वेलकम टू दिस वीडियो। आज है हमारे साथ पीके सर। ही इज़ लाइक फैकल्टी इन IIIT हैदराबाद। तो आज हमें इनके साथ बात करने का मौका मिल रहा है एंड हम जानेंगे रिसर्च अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ इन इंडिया एंड अब्रॉड के बारे में, और रिसर्च का जो माइंडसेट है इंडिया के अंदर उसके बारे में भी सर से बात करेंगे। तो आपके जितने भी सवाल हैं रिसर्च को लेके कि इंडिया में रिसर्च करना है, कौन से कॉलेजेस अच्छे हैं और किस फील्ड में जाना है, उन सब के बारे में बात करेंगे इस वीडियो के अंदर। तो इस वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। ओके, हाय सर, वेलकम टू दिस डिस्कशन। सो सर, कैन you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you for having me. I'm PK. मैं कंप्यूटर साइंस रिसर्च करता हूँ। IIIT हैदराबाद में प्रोफेसर हूँ। IIIT हैदराबाद आने से पहले 12 साल IIIT दिल्ली में प्रोफेसर था। उससे पहले PhD कंप्यूटर साइंस CMU में कर रहा था।
ओके, सो जैसे सबसे पहले जो सवाल है, आई वांट टू आस्क वन क्वेश्चन कि व्हाट आर द अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ इन इंडिया फॉर रिसर्च एंड व्हेन अ स्टूडेंट शुड डिसाइड दैट आई हैव एन एप्टीट्यूड फॉर research, I should opt for research. Like how a student should recognize that I should go for research?
Okay, I think this is a super heavy loaded question, right?
Okay.
इसमें शायद books भी लिख सकते हैं, but let's break it into smaller chunks. I think आप students बोल रहे हैं, let's start from students at undergrad, master, PhD,
sure,
right?
Sure.
So I think at an undergrad level, students should think about, I think there are certain skills that one should actually find out whether they have. One is curiosity, right? Curiosity, you really need to have a lot of curiosity in terms of picking up whether you want to do research. Second thing is persistence. Meaning एक प्रॉब्लम को लेके उसी प्रॉब्लम में 2 साल 3 साल आउटकम आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है, वो सब करके भी रिजल्ट्स निकालना आना चाहिए. सो आई थिंक क्यूरियोसिटी, परसिस्टेंट स्किल्स वन हैज़ टू फाइंड आउट वेदर दे हैव. हाउ डू यू फाइंड आउट वेदर यू हैव? आई थिंक थोड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट करना पड़ेगा ना. लाइक लेट्स टेक जाके एक लेट्स टॉक अबाउट फर्स्ट बीटेक स्टूडेंट्स इन 1, 2, 3 and 4th year. आई थिंक फर्स्ट ईयर सेकेंड ईयर यू शुड थिंक ऑफ रिसर्च, बट इतना सीरियसली नहीं. लुक एट, गेट योर फंडामेंटल्स क्लियर, एंड देन आई थिंक सेकेंड ईयर थर्ड सेमेस्टर के बाद स्टार्ट लुकिंग फॉर अपॉर्चुनिटीज़. प्रोफेसर्स की वेबसाइट जाइए, जो एरिया इंटरेस्ट है उनकी वेबसाइट्स, ईमेल लिखिए, उनके पेपर पढ़िए. ईमेल लिखने के समय भी थोड़ा सोच के लिखिए कि ऐसे घिसा पिटाई वाला ईमेल नहीं कि आई एम सो एंड सो, आई नीड इंटर्नशिप विथ यू, आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन वर्किंग विथ यू. आई थिंक से दैट
इसी के रिगार्डिंग बात करते हैं कि व्हेन यू गेट एन ईमेल, so what is the first thing which like give you a heads up that this guy is really serious in this? This guy is not serious in this.
So I actually think that I strongly believe in Randy Pausch's idea of brick walls. I think every email मैं reply कर रहा हूँ नहीं कर रहा हूँ तो brick wall ही है ना. So let's take, even now before starting this video also I got an email from a student. Email में लिखेंगे I am so and so, I am studying here, I am interested in internship and I would like to pursue research because of this. Research is a great career, all that. I think that is okay. I don't know whether that email attracts me as much as another email. I'll tell you how it would live. I am so and so, I am studying here, I am interested in working with your lab. I read your paper, this paper talks about this topic. I have done some kind of work on this topic, or particularly this looks like it's a very interesting problem. I also read this other paper. These two papers seems to be connected. There's another professor that I've read before, unki research. So I think if you make the argument that
like subjective.
क्यों मैं क्यों रिप्लाई करूँ?
Why should I only
reply? Why should I reply to that email?
Why you are emailing me? Is it just a cold email you are sending to everybody, or just specific to me? That's okay. So
that is one thing I think I look for. Another thing that I look for is a GitHub link. This is probably over a period of time I've realized that when such emails come, I open the CV, look for the GitHub link, and then go look at their so to say code repository, what they have done, and that gives you an immediate sense of how active they are.
Okay, so like this is we talking about like how we approach a professor, or how should we recognize that we have an interest for research. So now let's like say a person recognizes I have an interest. Now how to get admission into, like which colleges should choose, like how to find that right college for itself.
Yeah, I think colleges, there's a lot of structure, no, in terms of doing research itself. I mean, the options, let's take in some, I mean, not arranged in any particular order, right? IITs, IIITs, IMSC, CMI, lots of institutes have research opportunities. I think, of course, the broader national level GATE exam will give you a sense of it, but I think that is also one direction, right? For example, in IIIT Hyderabad, you can come without GATE also, MS by research, right?
Okay.
MS by research gives you that, and I think these programs, including other IITs, also have this program where you get students who are interested in research to come and do the work, right? So therefore, if you understand that you're cut out for research, you should look for programs which are thesis oriented and thesis where you can spend, let's take a semester or 2 or 3, for example, in Hyderabad, you probably will spend 2-3 semesters on writing your thesis.
So now, like, there's a 2 courses for, like, generally people do for research. One is MS and second one is PhD. So, like, are these, like, MS course जो होता है, like, इसके बाद PhD करना ज़रूरी होता है या MS course के बाद ही we get a hang of, like, what is actually a research is?
Great question, right? MS तक करूँ या I think एक तो completely personality driven, subjective, right? हमारी लाइफ में किस स्टेटस में है, किस स्टेट में, वहीं पर डिसाइड करता है कि डिसाइड होगा कि आपको जॉब करना है और PhD करना है. I think MS, meaning research, if you're cut out for research, I don't think so there is anything needed to go till PhD. I think PhD gives you a slightly different kind of an experience, which is if you're keen on doing an academic job, if you're keen on doing a research job but a slightly more involved, then I think only PhD karna. And generally my advice is also that if you want to do a PhD, do not do it immediately. Take a break, work for a year or 2 years, get a sense of आपको क्या अच्छा लग रहा है. Exactly. Because PhD में एक sort of say thing that happens PhD करने के समय क्या होता है, उस एरिया और आपकी नाम जुड़ जाती है. You do, for example, I did PhD in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity word will be with me for many years. वो हटा नहीं सकता है. So therefore, जैसे वाला एरिया में आपको इतना टाइम स्पेंड करना, हमारे नाम लगाना उसमें, that it will take a little while to find that, right? ऐसे नहीं कि अंडरग्रेड पढ़ा, मास्टर्स पढ़ा, then PhD करना है. For some people it can come, but many people it will not come. What area? Because I think PhD करना और PhD करने के बाद वाले लाइफ में you have to live with that problem, live with that area. वो आने के लिए I think it will take some time.
So your advice is कि you should go explore industry for a while, and once you realize the area of interest, then you can go and deepen your
industry से ज़्यादा I think explore करना है. Industry definitely, if the need is to work in an industry, that's okay. But industry में भी तो अभी बहुत interesting options है ना. Interesting maybe the industry, maybe there is research labs. I can work for a research lab and get an understanding of different areas. I can work for an engineering job and get an understanding of what is going on. So I think it is not necessarily only industry, but take a break from education.
Okay.
Take a break from education, go do something. It could be a full-time research job, full-time industry job, even an academic job.
It should not be directly jump like you have done BTech and somehow taking direct admission.
Somehow I feel like there is, at least I've seen people who have done, sort of say, taken a break and then have a better appreciation for what is going on also.
Great.
But that doesn't mean that I'm sort of say, not saying that you should do it back to back. But I'm sure if you figure it out, then it's fine.
So, sir, we talked about how to get admission into a PhD or MS. So, I want to know what is the exact process of a research. For example, I have given a problem statement. So, what is the entire, I would say, the life of a research, I would say. So, can you just give a...
Yeah, sure. So, I think life of a research, let's start from really basic. No, I think आपने पहले बोला था problem. I think defining क्या problem work करना is also super important, right? Generally, one of the metrics that I've seen people talk about, very senior, accomplished people talk about is, you want to work on a problem जो it touches your heart. It's a very broad one, but let's just break it a little bit, right? Yeah. Because the reason is that if I have to live with the problem, the statement that I said, if I have to live with the problem, I really need to find something जो मैं सुबह उठ के have to be happy about doing it, right? If I take a problem and work on saying किसी और के लिए कर रहा हूँ या किसी something else कर रहा हूँ, I don't know whether it will be as involved as possible. So finding a problem, one of the exercises that I'll give for people who are watching this video, take a pen and a paper for next 1 week if you're interested in research or anything that you want to do, write down all the problems that you see around you, which you can solve with your skills. I'm not saying that this will help you find a research problem, but this will definitely help you to understand what kind of problems do you like. Write down the problems that problems around you. For example, मेरा एक PhD स्टूडेंट थे, सेकेंड PhD स्टूडेंट थे. उन्होंने जब मैंने इंटरव्यू करा था उनको PhD के लिए, the thing that struck me that I should take the student and work with her is that वो अपने घर पे टेलीफोन, मीनिंग उनकी ग्रैंड मदर वॉज ओल्ड, एंड टेलीफोन की अलग अलग बटन, बहुत सारा बटन्स थे, एंड आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, यूजिंग अ टीवी रिमोट, यूजिंग अ माइक्रोवेव, दीज आर ऑल वेरी हार्ड थिंग्स इन एनीवेयर, राइट? सो शी चेंज्ड हर टेलीफोन एट होम सो दैट उनकी ग्रैंड मदर उसका आसान से यूज कर सकते हैं. वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स की बीटेक है, एंड व्हेन शी सेड दिस इन इंटरव्यू आई सेड ऐसे ही चाहिए लो. Right? So I think that is what you need to think about. What problem? I mean, jo bhi research you want to work on, someday, somewhere, somebody should use it. So find out what is that, and then probably you don't need to worry. And there are, I mean, particularly in India, right, there are enough problems to work, enough interesting problems to make a contribution, to make a dent in the life or dent in the people around us, right? So I think finding a problem, and I'm just giving you the life cycle. Finding a problem. Once the problem is found, I think understanding what prior work has happened in that area, right? You need to know, because there is also very senior people talk about this, which is that the quality of the problem, the quality of depth that you can go into solving a problem is as good as literature that you know. जितना आपको प्रायर वर्क पता है उतना ही आप एडवांटेज लेके कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं. सो अंडरस्टैंड द प्रायर वर्क, फिगर आउट अ प्रॉब्लम, एंड देन इट्स अबाउट फाइंडिंग सम स्मॉल सो टू से डेंट इन what is missing in the prior work, and make a progress there, write about it, and now there are many ways to actually disseminate your work. So find a way to
for example, when we are doing literature survey, so we read papers, the prior work, and also we discuss with folks in that area. Is that also a very common practice?
So very common practice. Paper thanks to COVID, in some sense, there's a lot of paper reading sessions that are happening around the world, which is also online. Like for example, we ourselves do paper reading now. Anybody from anywhere in the world can join, right? So you read literature, join paper reading sessions for areas that you are interested in, understand what topics you are interested in working on. The other important skill that you want to have while doing research, this is another one that you end up seeing students not able to cope up, is a network for yourself. Because many of the times, there's a nice cartoon in PhD comics, many of the times, let's take visually if you can. So this is a graph, right? Or this is a graph. Let's take, if you find some mental state stable one, many of the times you're going to be below that. There's going to be a lot more challenges than success stories in doing research, and this is very common because you're writing a paper or you're not able to find a problem. You found the problem, you're not able to find a good method to solve the problem. You found the problem, solved the problem, you're not able to actually show that it's the best in the world. You're writing the paper, it's getting rejected. So it's majority of the times it's very challenging.
And then one success.
Right, but that success gives you so much of sort of say happiness. I think you want to try doing it again and again. So therefore, this network, I think, create a way by which you can talk to people who are like you, who you can interact with students who are like you, so that you can actually understand what is going on and basically help get better at whatever you're doing.
So, like, what is the final step of a research? Like, these are the life cycles. We discussed literature survey and all. What is the last step?
Find the problem, literature review, show that how this is not been done in the world ever before. Do the work, write a paper, disseminate the work. Today you have many ways to disseminate the work. Disseminate as in write a, of course, if you have a paper, it will get accepted. You go present it in a conference or something. Then after that, you can put your talk online, record a video of your talk, post it online, and post your slides on slide deck, create a website for your paper. So I think today, post it on social, or create a Twitter thread and talk about your research, tag the right set of people, have a conversation, make the world know that this is the work that you've done.
So, sir, again, I want to, sir, as we discussed a lot about these things, so I feel that research has a really important important contribution to give to the society. For example, whatever we are seeing here is someone's thought actually. This watch I gave example. So this 10 years ago nobody has thought like this kind of watch which is giving you heartbeats, your O2 levels and all. So according to you, what is the like contribution of research society to the real society?
Yeah. As I said before, right, find a problem which is close to your heart. Some things that keep me awake in the night is only that, right? You want to do things which you can see the world using it at some point in time. Translational research. You again, in the process of research, we said find a problem, pick a problem, write a paper. When you write a paper, I think you create something novel which nobody else has done. That's the fun part of doing research, right? You're doing it for the first time ever in the world, nobody has done. Yeah. Right? You should be very happy about if you reach that stage. Once you have it, please try and make sure that you translate that into something that somebody can use. He referred to the example of a watch, but there could be many things, right? You could build a new camera to actually record. You could build a new algorithm to find out heartbeat or X-rays given whether it has particular issues. Can you actually find some take up only during COVID times? Many of these kind of works happen, right? Taking only the cough, taking only the sneezing behavior of a person, can you do something, right? So I think these are all fantastic problems that particularly in India we should be working on, because I think given the third world nature of our country, I think we need to solve these problems also economically viable, right? It's not about only building that watch, but building the watch so that you can actually buy it.
To buy actually.
Right? So I think, but let's also keep in mind that researchers cannot go all this cycle because I think you need a lot of other partners to work with, right? You need to work with somebody who can translate your idea into a prototype, into a product, and then take the product to go and show to people and saying that this is a problem that we produced a solution, and can you actually use it, all of that. I mean, as a researcher, try to find a way to show that it works. Try to find a way to show that it works and it can be actually scaled for larger problems. So just to give you a plug of my own experience, I think thanks to many of the students who have worked with me creating startups, creating technologies, all that, thanks to actually my grad school also, where we ended up actually building a sort of say company where my PhD thesis also contributed in creating a tool, and 10 years later the company got acquired. The satisfaction that you get, when I did this all with a PhD student, I did not have any expectation that it's going to turn out to be this way, but the satisfaction to see that what you did got translated and hundreds and thousands of people are using it is just phenomenally good. And that's why, and this is about PhD life. After PhD also we have done many things where currently many companies use what we have built. We wrote papers, but we also translated into code, and companies are using it. We put all our data, all our code, all our slides, all our video like this recorded of research papers public, so people can actually take it and use it. Today there's enough platforms to actually talk about your research and get attention.
Great. So like many of our viewers, they are either in undergrad or they are deciding whether to go for MS or MTech.
Yeah.
They are like very dilemma, like which one to choose and which one not to choose. So can you give like how, on what parameter we should compare whether I should go for MTech or MS?
Yeah. So I think this is probably the large pool of students in the country right now. If you were to look at it, मैं research करूँ, नहीं करूँ, MTech पढ़ूँ या PhD पढ़ूँ या MS करूँ, right? I think the things that you want to keep in mind is, one, get a good understanding of your fundamental courses. Many of us go through colleges where these courses, it may be taught better. You should try and actually complement your knowledge that you're getting in these schools, add with other knowledge of the materials that are available online. Today, like these videos, right, there's a lot of videos that are getting generated about topics in computer science or topic in whatever area you're in. Get an understanding of those topics very well. Then when you have an understanding of a topic, look for whether you are able to actually generate ideas, whether the topic that I said before, curiosity, persistence, if you have it, then I think for ways to go through the research thing. And I think at a undergrad level, it doesn't matter even if you fail, right? In a in a second year, third year, you try out, go do an internship in an academic institute. It doesn't work out well, but that's okay. I've had students who come with me, do a summer internship, spend the entire summer. At the end of the summer, they said that मुझे research चाहिए ही नहीं, मुझे research करना ही नहीं है, right? Because I think that is, I think in a way I feel like I've contributed to help that student even decide that मुझे research नहीं करना, right? I think it is not about only finding मुझे research करना है. I think it is also finding about मुझे क्या क्या नहीं करना,
and that's more
right? नहीं करना आएगा because this cycle of going through paper पढ़ना, एक paper में क्या contribution है, क्या future work है, and then novelty ढूंढना and world में कभी करा ही नहीं है. I don't think so everybody can do it, right? Meaning I think if you look at everybody cannot be a good swimmer, good cricketer, good tennis player. What is that you're good at? Find it, and if research is something, I think you will do very well.
Very nice. I'm like speechless, like the way you explain it very well. So, like once a student have decided like MS versus MTech, the one factor they choose is the opportunity in terms of monetary benefits. So I've seen, this is my personal experience, I've seen like people which are going into research opportunities, they are earning more actually. I've seen like data scientists which are earning more because data scientist is more of a research kind of a job. So what you want to say that opportunity wise, people have a belief, I too had this belief that like engineering guys earn more than like research. So can you just break this myth?
Yeah. I think I'm sure we can do this empirically, find out empirically what the numbers are for in terms of salary, all that. But a general understanding is that with a BTech, you will go, so here is something that people have said long time back to me, some very senior professors. Yeah. With a BTech, if you go have a conversation with somebody, what you say, people will hear but not really do much about it, right? Think about it. Or if you have an MS or an MTech and you tell something, they will, okay, ये serious है करना. If you have a PhD, room में जाके जो भी आप बोलेंगे, सब लोग सुनेंगे आपकी, right?